What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today. Yet again, Zcash. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, it is the 22nd day of June, Monday. $462 is the price. We have about 11 hours left in the day, and you are up about 6.6% on the day so far. Nice little bit of recovery. I think yesterday when I was making my video, we were at about this price, maybe $10 lower, and calling for the downside. We look at this on the 1 hour time frame, and from here, was it from here? It would have been, yeah, it would have been right around here. We were right for a little bit of time there. Things were looking bearish, but then we had this reversal come in. I would largely attribute that to Bitcoin's behavior here. And things have been moving up. It's enough to make me contemplate if we do move up a little bit from here. I still believe overall that Zcash is in trouble. I still believe what I've said as far as the daily time frame is concerned, that a drop like this doesn't happen and then you continue to rally and you go up to $1,000. I don't. Anything can happen. I don't think that's what's happening here. Personally, I don't think something like this happens and then you rally. This is typically what happens before you start to really sell off. And I think the market makers or market participants are making it confusing for a time, but it'll start to become clear as time goes on. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, now that we've got my overall perspective in mind, again, maybe the short term stuff we were wrong about. Maybe I was wrong about. Maybe we do move up a little bit here. Perhaps we could even get above this high. I'm not calling for prices above this high, but let's work with the short term stuff and let's see what we got going on. Okay, so looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, you do have a little bit of a wick to the upside here, but you've been very tenacious on this move up. I mean, you've had some pretty significant wicks all the way up. You had a very bearish candle here, and you still just keep moving up. So I'm not worried about this. However, where this wick tipped off was right at prior support. Right there at prior support. Where this wick tipped off, we take this relative high to this relative low here, it was directly at the golden ratio. So the candlestick itself does not concern me, but where we are as far as price action goes, it is a reversal point. It is an area where I am suspicious that we could see some type of rejection. And maybe it's not a rejection that takes us all the way down. There's a couple of things we have to do before we start to get bearish below this low at 432 again, before the red party, the bearish trend resumes. Mainly, you have to get below the 236, but if we can start closing 4 hour time frames or multiple 1 hour time frames below 452 and 40 cents, I would say at that point too, we can expect to go below this low. But if from here we pull back, we find support at the 0.5 and we return to this level, maybe we move up. If from here we find support at the 382 and we move back to this level, perhaps we continue to move up and maybe even above this high. Again, it's completely possible that from here we go to $500 or more. It really is possible. Looking at this at least it's more possible today than it was yesterday. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, the RSI is right at a point of rejection, right at a point of resistance. We actually found resistance here before. Was that the high? No, this was the high. We had a little fake out high, and then we started to come over. Did we dump through the floor right then immediately? No, we didn't. Does that mean we have to dump here? No. Does it mean that we do the exact same thing as before? No, but just an idea of what we saw last time. This was a relative high point, and we did move down overall. We actually did see lower lows. Stochastics overbought. You were pretty oversold for a while, but now you're overbought, answering pretty strongly here. The bears answered with this move. The bulls answered with this move. I think the bears are in control. Call me crazy, but that's just my opinion. It's like, they got 2 points, the bulls got 1 point. But they might be scoring more. Who knows? We'll see. Looking at this in the way of the MACD, you were very red for a while here, dying. You were killing off your bearish momentum. Now you're building some very excessive bullish momentum. All that to say your oscillators, your orange and your blue line, are right here at this zero level, a perfect area to find resistance. RSI, same thing. Stochastic, same thing. All of these points to find resistance. You are flipping around right now. Kind of gives me the bearish vibe, maybe the immediate bearish vibe. My somewhat bullish suspicions at the beginning of this video might not be well founded at all. This actually might be a perfect. I didn't see this golden ratio rejection, but it makes sense, man. I mean, right there, prior support becomes resistance. You are rejecting golden ratio. It makes sense. Zcash has been tricky though. Again, maybe you close like this, but you still continue to move up. 4 hour time frame, $459.50 right now. Looking at the RSI, You are in this downtrend still. Now, what I will say is you're having a bit of a more robust reaction down here than I thought you would. I was expecting that you'd get into the oversold zone, but man, you bounced right off it. This is a hell of an area to find support at. You are at the 50 level, though, as well. You're right here at the 50, which is also a hell of an area to find resistance at. Going from support at the oversold to rejecting the 50, that's typically a bearish sign if you make it back below the 40. So we'll be watching for that. You're kind of in this state of limbo. Being here, you aren't truly neutral with the RSI. But in an overall bearish environment. So if you want to move up, you have to behave well. And right now, I don't think we're off to a good start there. Stochastics also at the 50, same kind of idea. It's not an area that you want to be at as far as testing limits goes, right? If you reject here and you reject the 50 there, that's not a good look. And then the 4-hour MACD, it's a bit interesting because you kind of rejected the 0 here, and now you've come back up. You stand a chance to cross the 0. When you do stuff like this, you really do stand a chance at crossing above the 0, and that's a bullish prospect. However, you're still red. If this 4-hour candle is bad enough, if you got 2 hours 42 minutes left, if this 4-hour candle closes red, then it's possible that you start building bearish momentum again. And if you start building bearish momentum, you really are rejecting this 0, and that would be a very bearish signal. So you're kind of at a critical moment here, a pivotal moment overall for Zcash. Looking at this through the scope of the daily time frame. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, daily time frame. I mean, there's nothing. There's no wick. There's nothing bearish at all about today. It literally just moved up today, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Very bullish candle so far. To answer back on this very bearish candle that you had yesterday. So it's kind of interesting to see. I wouldn't say that Zcash operates the same way as Bitcoin. You did move down over the weekend. If Bitcoin moved down over the weekend, I'd expect it moves up over the week. If it moves up over the weekend, it would move down over the week. It's not always like that. Sometimes you move up over the weekend and you continue to move up over the week, or down over the weekend, down over the week. Zcash, I wouldn't say those same parameters are found here. Okay, I don't count on that. I don't rely on that. I don't expect that with altcoins. Altcoins follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides to reject from here and pull down, Zcash is going to go with it. Okay. Really looking at this on the daily time frame. Again, we zoom out, we can see that there overall is this double top look, right? You've got this kind of peak here. And if we flip it over, I mean, to me, this looks like an Adam. And this could be an Eve pattern as well. So you could have an Adam and Eve double top. And if it is a double top, that would be very detrimental to the price. This is where my overall perspective comes in. I very much do believe that Zcash is working its way down below these lows here, below these lows of $190, and that very well could trigger price action that takes us below $100 as well. Even though you go below $100, you still maintain this higher low trend from before. I'm not drawing the line properly, but you can see what I'm going for, hopefully. Right? You can still maintain this higher low even if you go below $100. But that definitely would put a damper in Zcash's momentum for a time being, which makes sense. We're in a bear market, so that really could happen, and that is the overall call as of now. Double top action on the daily time frame. Again, massive selling pressure here, massive. I don't think that this is nothing. I don't think that this happened for no reason. I don't believe that somebody with a lot of money just sold because they're like, you know what, I'm going to take profits just because I'm feeling like it. It just feels right. No, I think that they know something. They're stacking cash. They're stacking cash for a reason. It's not to buy at higher prices, if you catch my drift. We're finding resistance here at prior support, direct resistance at prior support, as we've been doing on the short-term stuff. So are we doing on the daily time frame. We look at this with the RSI. The RSI overall is bearish. Bearish because we have lower highs and lower lows, and we have yet to really interact with the oversold zone. So I think we're going to do that. We probably do get oversold here by the end of this month, if not sometime early July. And at that point, when we do get oversold, I suspect we will be below these levels here, below $336, potentially even as low as where these lows were or lower by the end of the month or early July. Right? That's the expectation. So I don't really have anything else to say. That's it. Not impressed with the price action. Daily MACD is bearish. The stochastics are weird, but so is the price action, and the RSI is bearish overall. So it's weird on the stochastics, but still bearish. I don't care that you're finding support at the oversold and you're still bearish. I don't have anything else for you guys, so with that, I leave you. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.